All right, guys. So that does all of our pre-show, and now it's time to gotta debate them movies.
I don't know what we're yelling about! It's terrible! She has beautiful eyes and her hair smells like cinnamon! Loud noises!
All right, you guys. If anybody wants to send in a debate question, all you have to do is email me at GottaLoveThemMovies@gmail.com. You can write in any kind of a movie question that you want, but today, it's a theme show. We're doing some debates. So if you have a debate hot and topic off the top of your head, if there's something passionately that you want to see our debaters debate online, send me an email at GottaLoveThemMovies@gmail.com, and we will make your debate question one of the main top 5 debate questions that we have on next Friday's show, or rather in 2 Fridays from now. As you may know, we're not doing a show next week, so but more on that later. Anyway, if anybody has any questions about the rules, here are the debate rules. There will be 5 rounds. Our debaters will be assigned which topic which side of the argument that they will be defending. Each debater will have 5 minutes in total to present their argument, and the winner for each round will be determined by who crafted the better argument, not by what we think the better film, actor, or character is. Best of 5 wins. Winner will return next week, or rather in 2 weeks, to defend their title, and a coin toss will determine all ties.
A coin toss? Isn't it a coin toss?
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Kay Hartman. It is a coin. It is a coin toss.
Coin toss.
It is not a coin toss. It is a toin toss, as my English flubbing usually tends to go. So Kay, thank you so much. Kay, speaking of which, are you ready to start debating today's movies?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And Josh, again, hold on one second. Let me resize your screen here. Ta-da! The magic of live television. Josh, are you ready to start debating on today's show?
Oh yeah, as they say in the movies, here comes your feature presentation, because it's about, yes I am. Yes, I am.
Started off so promising, and then just, yeah.
Kind of tapered off a little bit, yeah.
I like to make a run for it at the start and see what happens on the landing, but sometimes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you guys, we are just about to start, and just when I say just about, we are going to start debating them movies. And debate question number 1 is a John Hughes particular topic. So, ladies and gentlemen, or rather, lady and gentlemen, what is the best John Hughes movie? Is it The Breakfast Club, or is it Ferris Bueller? Now, Kay, you are our reigning champion, which means I'm going to let Josh have this particular toin toss. Josh, I'm going to flip the coin. Heads, you will be arguing for Breakfast Club. Tails, you will be arguing for Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Are you ready?
Okay,
so
I'm ready.
You don't have to call anything in the air. It's just going to happen naturally for you. So, let's see. Let's do the coin toss. And it is Tails. Josh, you will be arguing for Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And Kay, you will be arguing for The Breakfast Club. Which is the best John Hughes movie of all time? Kay, you were not the beneficiary of the coin toss, so you will begin our debate today. Are you ready?
Yes.
Kick it off.
So, thinking back to The Breakfast Club, the ultimate storyline, the lesson we're all meant to take away from it is that we're all different, but we're all in this together. And if you look around our world in 2020, that's a message that I think we could all still benefit from, even if it's from a film from 1985. Plus, so many iconic moments in the film that we see recreated. I think I saw the Breakfast Club dance in Bob's Burgers once. Like, so many iconic moments. So that's why I'm saying that this is the better John Hughes film.
A lot of iconic moments, Josh. Fairly strong opening statement. Do you have a strong opening statement of your own to argue for Ferris Bueller?
All right, look, we're talking about the 80s here. And yes, The Breakfast Club is certainly one of those things, and The Breakfast Club is totally beloved. But when you say Ferris Bueller's Day Off, instantly. It is instant nostalgia, instant excitement. People who love this movie love this movie. It is ultimate 80s. Matthew Broderick in his defining role in his entire career, I would say. Just the sheer sort of scope and fun of this movie is it's insane. It's an adventure pick of the highest order, teen comedy adventure pick. You can't get better than that. The Breakfast Club is, I would say, argue, maybe it's a little more dramatic. But if you're talking about fun John Hughes movies, quintessential John Hughes movies, you can't get better than
can't get better than the Breakfast Club.
You can't get better than the Breakfast Club unless you're talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Interesting. All right. Josh brings up an interesting point. People who love this movie. Kay, do you have a rebuttal?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know somebody who was a Ferris Bueller in our life. And did we like that person? No. That person is kind of a jerkwad and gets away with everything. And that's not a lesson I want to take into the world. And also, he treats Cameron, his best friend, like garbage. Totally, throughout the whole film, pushing him to do things he doesn't want to do when he clearly has some sort of anxiety or something, and that's just not fair or fun for anybody. So while Ferris Bueller might be a fun little character off doing his little thing, that guy's kind of a dick.
Wow, Josh, some strong, harsh words against Ferris Bueller. Would you care to defend and or criticize The Breakfast Club?
I would like to defend what you were saying there. Yeah, Ferris Bueller is not necessarily inherently the most lovable character in the world. However, he does fall into that long line of literature tradition of the Puck, the ultimate sort of Puck trope character, who is a protagonist, but also creates kind of chaos. Dionysian chaos in an Apollonian society, if you will, for creating excitement. The Breakfast Club is a small microcosm of just individuals and their sort of individual personalities. However, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it follows this Puck-like character throughout the day and just shows kind of what chaos and mayhem can ensue. And this is kind of an escape movie. This is obviously not reality. This movie, you can see how this movie is not real, but it's just fun to follow it. And yeah, Ferris Bueller's kind of a guy that you might love to hate, but man, he's just kind of that guy that you kind of secretly want to be your friend, but he's not, so you kind of hate him anyway. But yeah, you're right. There's definitely some sort of like him and Cameron. Also, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but there's also the theory that I've heard that Ferris Bueller doesn't actually even exist, that it's all a figment of Cameron's mind. And that's a theory that's gone around too. So there's a lot of deep philosophical thoughts in this, in terms of like how you could even interpret this movie. It could even be bigger than just the literal interpretation.
Wow, Kay. I mean, that's a strong argument. Josh is pulling out words like Dionysian and, like the philosophical merits of, the possibility that you could interpret this film as though none of it exists. It's all in the mind. How do you respond to something like that?
Well, my opponent makes some great points, and I think all those points could also apply to The Breakfast Club. I don't understand why any of the points he just made don't also contribute to these characters, some of them being more Puck-like than others, some of them being more trickster than others, and I don't see why we have to bring it down to just Ferris Bueller's Day Off with the one character when we have so many diverse and exciting characters in The Breakfast Club, and that again has that great message of we're all different but we're all in this together, as to where Ferris Bueller's message is I like to do things and I like to get away with things and I'm gonna. And what kind of message is that?
All right. Well, Josh, winding down to our closing arguments, what is it about Ferris Bueller that is just purely a better film, a better story, better acting, all of it? What is it about Ferris Bueller that makes it the better film, or rather the best John Hughes film over Breakfast Club?
That's a great, my opponent also makes some great points. And I'll be the first to admit, I love The Breakfast Club. I think it is a fantastic movie, and it's absolutely one of my top favorites. However, this movie defines the 80s. This has got the attitude of the 80s, the sort of arrogance of the 80s, the sort of like excess of the 80s, the sort of party mentality of the 80s. It's got the sort of that like fun at all costs of the 80s. It's really sort of like a capsule of the sort of excess and sort of the indulgence and decadence of the day and of the times. Sort of the ideology of sort of like, let's see how far we can go. Let's see what we can get away with. Let's see kind of the attitude of like every teenager sort of wants to be able to like have a day like Ferris Bueller. In some sense, not in every sense of the word, but like he definitely sort of exemplifies the idea of rebellion. And the 80s is a huge rebellious period in American history in terms of like bigger, faster, more sort of that attitude. And I think that encompasses the decade, it encompasses the genre, it encompasses the entire essence of the teen comedy in that time period.
All right. Wow. Yeah, a lot of strong closing argument points. It's, it's very encapsulating of the 80s and representative of everything of what the 80s was, and has a lot of theories to go along to support like this is all encompassing and like a perfect representation. Pretty cool. Kay, final arguments. What is it about Breakfast Club that makes it the superior film over Ferris Bueller?
So Ferris Bueller really focuses on that idea of the 80s, 1980s being the me decade, the very superficial, everything's about me. And this film gives us a respite from that. And not only do we get a break from that idea of it's all about me, but we also get all these social integrations of the haves and have-nots working together and unifying in the most awkward way possible. Detention, something that most teenagers can identify with. I don't know how many teenagers can identify with leading a parade down the street in Chicago,
sure,
but they can definitely identify with, maybe ending up in detention one day and, having something interesting come of it and realizing that there's things beyond those surface level appearances that we see with people. So it's so much a lesson of like, let's not judge, let's learn. And I think there's a lot to be learned from that, even, now in 2020. It's been a long time, but that's the sticking power that this film has.
Wow. Some strong arguments, you guys. Before I deliver my final ruling, let's just jump to the comment section. And Robbie Spratt says, "Hi, Mike." He also says, "Hi, Josh." Well, hello, Robbie.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, sorry, Josh, we didn't hear you. Say it again.
I just said, "Hey, Robbie, what's up, buddy?"
Robbie, we hope you're well. It's been a long time since we've seen you, sir. Andy Danish says, "Aw, I know these guys." Well, we know you too, Andy. And Andy, you were a guest on the show as well, so hopefully have you back sometime soon. Andy Danish also says, "I'm #Team Ferris Bueller." So we have Andy pulling on the side of Josh over there, but I need to make a final ruling here. Ruling these things is quite difficult because you both bring some really great arguments. Kay, I really connected with your social argument of like, Breakfast Club is all about the social experiment in saying here's 5 different archetypes from from not just this world, but from the world that we live in. Whereas Ferris Bueller only has like the one archetype, and he's kind of a jerk. Like he goes off and does exactly what he says or does whatever he wants. And Josh, you kind of agreed with this. I'm sorry, say it again, Kay.
Not only does he do what he wants, and then he gets away with it.
It's true. Yeah, he gets away with it. Where Josh, and you also kind of, played into, or you agreed with this idea that, yeah, I mean, he's not the most likable of characters. But then you brought like this really cool argument of saying like, there's so much more at play here than just meets the eye. There's a lot of theories to say that, maybe Ferris Bueller didn't exist, and the more philosophical implications of that I found to be very interesting. At the end of the day, I don't feel that those more philosophical debates were all that valid in this particular argument because those were things not contained within the movie. Those were all things that came as a result of after the movie coming out, and people online trying to have like some really fun and interesting discussions, making a you know, kind of a thesis statement and then backing it up with things from the movie. It wasn't something that the filmmaker ever intended upon, and for that reason, I'm going to give the point to Kay in the first round. So yay! Kay, you're the winner of this particular round. Josh, this is your first time debating on Gotta Love the Movies. This is your first debate. We still have 4 more rounds to go. How did this feel for you?
It felt good. It felt like it was fun. It was fun to kind of get into it about that. And truth be told, I love both of those movies. They're both great for so many different reasons. So it's kind of hard to honestly pick. John Hughes is a hard person to sort of pick a movie and fight for because they're all
spectacular.
All of his movies are so good.
Yeah. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what this dinosaur would want you to do. Roar, roar, roar!